My name is RYT and today I put together a sequence. I've been using these yoga sequencing cards lately, and I found that it's helped me sort of get creative and get outside the box a little bit. So this isn't a flow that I would typically do, but I liked just sort of how it flowed, as it were. There's going to be some standing, but there will be a decent amount of work on the floor. If I had to describe this today, I would say that there are some elements of back bends, and I would say that's sort of a common theme here, if I had to place a theme. So we're going to start out very slowly in our mountain pose. Taking a moment to just ground ourselves. Really dig those toes into the mat. Feel yourself today. Straight back. And we're just going to breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. As you feel a little more centered, a little more focused for today's practice, we're going to start by extending our legs out wide, like so, and we're going to do a wide-legged forward bend. I do have blocks here today. If you have any issue with the stretch, feel free to just use a block like so to make that easier. Give yourself support and on the stretch. I'm going to go into the full wide-legged forward bend. You want to create a straight line from your head to your tailbone. Get a slight bend in the knees, and if you can, the hand palms will be flat on the mat. Just take a moment here. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to inhale, come back up into this wide-legged stance. From here, we're going to go into a ninja pose. We'll start on the left. You'll bring your left knee out like so, dipping your body. If you can, hands heart center, and we're in sort of a modified ninja pose here. Exhale, back to center. We're going to bring the right leg down like so, into this modified ninja pose. Hands to heart center. Inhale.
Whoa.
We're back up.
Bold.
I'm going to exhale, bring my hands back to the mat for this forward bend.
We can hear you.
And what I want you to do from here is just to walk the legs back into a tabletop position, like so. We'll just do a few cat-cows to prepare ourselves for some of these bends. Now, we're going to exhale into a cat. Chin comes to the chest. Get a round in your back. And when you inhale, up into a cow position. The stomach drops low, heads up, and you're trying to get, it's a chest opener, so you want your chest pointing out, like so. So once more, we're going to exhale into a cat pose. Inhale, slowly dropping into cow. Exhale, so cat pose. Inhale to cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. From here, simply gonna exhale, drop into a child's pose. And let's see. Some things to focus on here. Your knees want to be about hip width apart. Drawing your shoulders back away from your ears. Toes are together. If possible, resting your head on the mat. If that is difficult for you, again, blocks can come into play, like so. And so we're just going to make our way from this child's pose to our back. And from here, we're going to do a wind relieving pose. We'll start with my, just as we've done before, my left leg. So inhale, left knee to chest. So. We're going to exhale, bring the foot back down. Inhale, right knee to chest. We're going to exhale, bring the foot back down. This time we'll do a full knee to chest pose. I'm going to inhale, bring both knees up towards my chest, grabbing out my knees. You also could do a variation where you come to the ankle. My main focus is here, because I tend to sort of creep up like this. Let's get my back flat to the mat as I bring my knees to the chest. We're going to exhale, bring the feet back down, like so. I'm now going to do a similar motion. This one we'll call thread the needle. I'm bringing my right knee up like so, left foot over top. And I'm grabbing, literally threading the needle. So I'm grabbing my own thigh between this opening in my leg and attempting to get a deeper stretch by doing so. Exhale, bringing the feet back down. This time my right ankle comes over my left thigh. Pulling the thigh up, threading the needle like so. And looking to get a comfortable stretch as your body allows. Exhale. Feet come back down. From here, I'm just going to do just a few back bridges. Again, preparing myself for a little bit of a bend motion coming up. Hands will come down to my sides. My feet come up towards my butt, and the heels towards my butt. Hands to the side. We're going to lift the pelvis up like so. And if this is a difficult position to hold, you can bring a block under you, like so, just to give yourself a bit of support. I'm going to exhale, bring my body back towards the mat. I'm going to inhale, come up into the bridge. Exhale, bring the body back down. Inhale, up into the bridge. Exhale, bring the body back down. From here, slowly work your way up into a kneeling position. And we're going to go into camel pose. Part of the reason I have my blocks today is because my flexibility, this tends to be part of pose for me if I'm not really warmed up. And what you can do is you're going to straighten the legs out like so. I like to put the blocks behind me and focusing on how I enter this pose. You want to be careful with your back. So I'm not just kind of like falling back into a pose. I'm actually lifting the chest up like so. And looking towards the ceiling, ultimately because of my arm positioning. If you're feeling comfortable, you can go hands to the heel, like so. And we're in a true camel pose at this moment. Another good modifier, if that's too difficult. So just put your hands into your lower back like this. So any one of those modifications are acceptable. I'm going to exhale, coming out of that pose. Once more, I'm going to drop into a child's pose.
And we were just like doing kite stands and fucking.
Inhale,
But also like
exhale,
party, so.
inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. All right, to continue with this back bend variation, we're going to do a locust pose. So you'll bring your body to the mat, arms out to your sides like so. Once again, the blocks can come into play to help you with this lift. But you're drawing your shoulders down towards your buttocks as you lift up, like so. You want to relax your neck. You don't want it to be too stiff here. And tightening up the torso and the buttocks as we go into a locust pose.
Yeah, let's have a refresher.
Exhale, back down. And we're going to do that pose just one more time. And we're going to inhale, and we're in locust. Exhale, bring your body back down. Once more, slowly make my way up to a seated position. And I'm going to start with a bound angle pose. So bring my feet together, heels touching, drawing towards my butt. Bringing the knees as close to in parallel to the mat as possible. Blocks still here for added support. And I'm just leaning forward. Got a grip on my toes. as I'm exhaling into a bound angle. Inhale, back to center.
What do you guys think? Are we ready?
I'm now going to turn just for the video so you can see. I'm bringing my right knee down to the mat. Left foot over, like so. And we're going to do a half spinal twist. My left elbow comes out outside my left knee.
And to win, there's like one of us has to leave, or
Excuse me.
all of us?
My right
Yeah.
elbow comes outside my left knee. And we're in the spinal twist. Take on the Lord Fish's pose. We're going to exhale, come back to center. Left knee comes to the ground. Right leg over. Feet flat to the mat if possible. Left elbow outside the right knee. My right hand back to support my weight. And I'm turning towards the wall. Inhale, back to center. Make your way up to a standing position. And we're now back into a mountain pose. Taking a moment to breathe here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. From this mountain pose, we're gonna go into wider stance again. I'm turning my left foot out so that's facing the top of my mat, lengthwise. And I'm going to start by just coming slowly down with my left hand towards my left ankle. Right hand goes up facing the ceiling, and my gaze is straight in front of me, like so. I'm now in my triangle pose. I want you to exhale. We're going to drop into a pyramid. Your choice what you want to do with your arms. You can go back, for instance. Just here, in a stretch. I'm going to inhale. Back up to this wide-legged stance. I'm going to exhale, turn the right foot towards the top of my mat, lengthwise. Bring my right hand down towards my ankle, left hand up. This variation I have my gaze forward, but if you turn your head up, you'll actually get deeper stretch here. Be more aligned.
Ooh, is the map going to reveal itself?
Exhale, dropping into a pyramid pose.
Ooh. Very fancy.
Inhale, center. We're gonna come back into a standard mountain pose. I'm gonna turn just so you can see my body. I'm gonna bring my left foot forward, extend my right leg back, so that I'm in a high lunge position. And we're going to transition this lunge into warrior one. So my back foot is now turned perpendicular to my left. Both arms come up overhead. And we're now in warrior one pose. Which in itself has some back bend components to it. Exhale, bring myself back to mountain. I'll bring the right foot forward this time, left leg back, so that I'm in this lunge. Turning the left foot perpendicular, arms come up, into our warrior one pose.
Very true. So about who's going to go first, do we want to have the
Exhale, back in mountain pose. Once more, we're going to go into pyramid pose. I'm going to have my feet parallel to the front of the mat. Create a stance like so. And in this variation of the pyramid, again, feet are parallel to the mat. I exhale, drop my hands down. So, again, if you need the support blocks are good for a modification of this pose.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Exhale, excuse me, inhale, coming back in the mountain.
Rael, did you say you had a high?
We're going to do the same thing on the other side, feet parallel to the mat. I got my right foot forward, my left foot back, and dropping into pyramid pose.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Inhale,
I guess
back up in the mountain.
let's go next, or we could all just roll.
We're going to go into a vinyasa for this transition. You're going to exhale, come into a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, back into a forward fold. We'll walk or jump the feet back so that we're into a high plank. Exhale into a low plank. Inhale into a cobra pose. And exhale to a downward facing dog. Emphasis on bringing the heels, if possible, to the mat flat. And then exhale, come back into a child's pose. taking a moment here to breathe. On my count. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale.
He probably knows,
Exhale. Inhale.
Yeah,
Exhale.
hey Abelard, so are you familiar at
I'm
all with this?
now going to drop my body down. We're going to go into a Sphinx pose. So I've got my hands a little wider than shoulder width apart and flat onto the mat. Elbows will stay on the mat as well. I'm inhaling up into a Sphinx pose. Again, this is a chest opener, so emphasis on pulling up and getting your chest sort of forward.
Does anybody have,
Exhale.
does anyone have like,
Bring yourself back down.
they can try to detect if it's
And I'm going to do that transition once more. So we're going to inhale, come into a child's pose.
well, I don't know if you want to use it, but you could try to see like, okay, cool. I guess.
Exhale. Come back to the mat. Inhale up into a Sphinx pose. We're going to exhale back to the mat. I do something a little unusual for my practice today, but I recently got my hands on a chirp wheel. It's serves a similar purpose to a foam roller, but it's uniquely designed to focus on sort of the spine. I'm going to use this tool today to help me get into a pose that I normally really struggle with, which is the wheel pose. So I'm going to start. And this is not an endorsement, this is just something that I've used. If you're interested, do your own research. I'm going to start my hands off to the side for stability. I'm really just rolling my back out right here. And as I move along, I got some tension in my back. Now, as I go into this pose, full warning that this is not necessarily how this product is intended. You're taught to keep your hands to your side for stability. I'm going to bring my hands back behind me, again at my own peril, to use this tool to help me get into a wheel pose. Ultimately, on a full wheel, I'd be pushing up and getting an extension of my hands. I really struggle with that pose, so this is a great tool. It may help sort of train my back for ultimately what it would need to do to get into a wheel pose. So this ultimately ends up more or less being a back bridge and not a full wheel, which, as I mentioned, would have some extension like so. Not in the cards for me today, which is fine. I'm going to slowly bring myself back up onto my chirp wheel. Just going to roll out my back. You know, if this isn't part of your practice, that's fine. You know, from there you could do either a wheel pose if that's something that's in your practice, a back bridge, again, if that's something that's in your practice, or, you know, as a variation of modifier, you continue to sort of just do those bridges that we did earlier with our shoulders flat to the mat. And as always, I'm going to end today's practice in Shavasana, in our corpse pose. And I'm going to take a little bit of time For myself, I got an audio book, so I'm actually going to grab that right now. And then again, as I mentioned, Shavasana, or corpse pose, we're going to create a straight line down from your back, top of your head through your toes. Keep your legs apart. And just ground ourselves and breathe. And like I mentioned in this particular pace, I'm going to take some real time here, so I will be listening to an ebook while I'm also listening to a little bit of the Gita. Why not? Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale.
Oh God, you're probably the pleasure return beast.
Really just, again, thanking yourself for getting on the mat today. And sort of the weight of the world melt away. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale.
Y'all. Detect that magic.
Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Stay mindful, centering. to include some background music for those watching, practicing themselves. I don't want YouTube to hit me with a copyright strike. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale,
I'm just saying you
exhale.
can't jump over the hedges or nothing.
Give up for yourselves. Like I mentioned before, getting on the mat, taking this time, so a reward to yourself, continuing your work, your journey. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale.
almost cornering season.
We're gonna inhale. Exhale.
Can't fucking wait.
Inhale. Exhale. And you can work your way back up.
I have not, but it sounds amazing.
Video, I'm gonna kneel so that you can actually see me. And once again, thank you for taking time out of your day to continue your practice with me. I appreciate you, joining me in my journey as well as continuing your own. Thank you. Thank yourself for good work. Have a great day. I'm RYT Parker.